Ramadan Mubarak, my brothers and sisters. The first week of Ramadan has just passed, and I wanted to share some insights that I've had with you over the past week on the nature of Ramadan and the power that can come from it with the right mindset and intention. I find that many Muslims take Ramadan for granted, especially if they were raised from a young age fasting. It kind of just becomes a routine, a check off the box, where they fast from sunrise to sundown, but they try to fit their normal routines in to this slightly altered schedule. This is not the intention of Ramadan. I believe that this whole month is supposed to shake things up, shake up your normal routine. I believe that the person that you come out of Ramadan is supposed to be better, more refined, less controlled by desires or passions, less affected by emotions like anger, sadness, envy, jealousy. The list goes on. I believe that Ramadan, when you have the internal aspect as well as the external, is a time of deep spiritual growth. And it's not just fasting from food or water. I mean, the physical is great. The benefits of fasting for the body are immense, and our scientific understanding of it only grows with time, which aligns with this concept in Islam of Ramadan fasting, but also all religious practices have the concept of fasting. But it goes deeper. I believe we're supposed to fast from all wrongdoings, all sins that bring us further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That comes in the form of idle talk, speaking behind people's backs, getting boiled to anger. For me, it's cursing, right? I was a United States Marine. They say the term swear like a sailor. Swearing like a Marine is much worse. We use the F word as a noun, an adjective, a verb. And so my intention was to minimize swearing, have the concerted intention of not allowing my tongue to make vile sounds, to become more eloquent in my speech. That was my goal. And in the first week, my reflection on that is it's a lot harder than you may think, especially when you're around people, around friends who curse. Every other word that comes out of their mouth is a curse. It rubs off on me, and I find myself saying it and immediately saying astaghfirullah directly after, just to help clear the air, because that was my intention. A big part of Ramadan is to be lighter in the body, almost to weaken and diminish the body, so that you work more on your spiritual energy, your spiritual self. As we move through our life, our normal life, we rely on the energy we get from food, from caffeine, from all the stimulants that we intake. And so during the fast, it's about reducing the energy we get from food, so we increase the energy reliance upon Allah. And so many people for suhoor, the pre-dawn meal, they eat like a pig. They try to get in as much food, as much calories as they can. And then when iftar comes, dinner time, they stuff their face, they gorge themselves, they eat foods that make them feel full and really heavy, which in turn reduces the power of your prayers, of your salah, reduces the effect, the overall effect of Ramadan that it should have on your spiritual self. This is not a time to gain muscle. This is not a time to prioritize your fitness. This is a time to prioritize your spiritual fitness. This is like spiritual boot camp when done with the right intention. Another big intention and a goal of mine this Ramadan was to quit caffeine for the entire month. Now, I don't rely on caffeine as bad as a lot of people, especially here in America, do. I only drink coffee in the morning. I take it with a fat. I have MCT oil. I do L-theanine with it to reduce the jitters and the negative effects of caffeine. I make it myself here at home. But I do rely on it every morning to get me going. During this Ramadan, I said no caffeine. Absolutely no caffeine. I want to shake things up to the point that it's uncomfortable. I wanted to make this Ramadan extremely uncomfortable. And the truth is, only the first 2 days, really only the first day that I have a headache, was I negatively affected by not having caffeine. After that, my energy levels soar. And now in the mornings, It's only been a week, but I don't think about caffeine. I don't think about coffee. I wanted to reduce my reliance on anything external that has become a habit. And I believe that is the intention of Ramadan. It's 1 month out of 12. And it should be a month where you reevaluate what you're doing in life by making things uncomfortable and by minimizing the things that you rely on. So then you rely on Allah even more, and that is the power of increasing your connection with God. It's all about intention. It's all about mindset. Without these two things, without the right mindset of wanting to reduce the reliance on food, on stimulants, increase the reliance on Allah, on shaking your normal routine up, on really having the intention of becoming a better person, a more refined person, less affected by the negative passions, by the negative habits, the vices. That is the mindset that I believe all Muslims should go into with Ramadan. By making things uncomfortable becomes a spiritual boot camp with which you strengthen your spiritual energy. Just like at the gym, you strengthen your physical body, Ramadan should be a time where you strengthen your spiritual body. And intention. Part of Islam is all intention. So every night for Isha or Taraweeh, you should be setting the intention to fast the next day. Not for any other reason, but for Allah, to connect with Allah more deeply. Because you'll notice when you fast, when you're not eating heavy for iftar or suhoor, your salah, your prayers become deeper. They become more connected. Because your body is lighter, it can rise above higher. And so set the intention. Maybe when you wake up in the morning for tahajjud or fajr, you also set the intention. Allah, give me power, give me sustenance, give me what I need to move through the day, to interact with the dunya in whichever way you do. Go to work, because Islam's the middle path. We're not complete ascetics. We have to have one foot in the dunya, one foot in the spiritual world. But during Ramadan, I think we should be leaning a little bit more towards the spiritual world. Those are my personal reflections on Ramadan, my personal experience of Ramadan. I'll be doing one of these videos every week of Ramadan, concluding with my total reflection of this Ramadan. This is the first Ramadan that I'm partaking in as an adult. I was raised Muslim, but growing up in America, joining the military, one is guided to the path of God when one is guided. And for me, it was recent. So I hope this helps. Hope it lets you have a deeper understanding of Ramadan and the connection with Allah that should be happening. Jazakallahu khair, wassalamu alaikum.